community show. I wanted to focus on people who aren't always in the light, people who are grassroots that's doing the work that might always not be seen. But I also want to focus on issues that I know that are important to people in our community. Like when I did Eye in the Sky, it's a lot of people that's for it and a lot of people that's against it. So I had to have Marshall Bell on to explain it, to talk about it. So that's what the district is about. It's about our district, Baltimore.
Clouds, and she's not backing down.
For me, as like a white girl who grew up on the Eastern Shore, and I like with New Baltimore, I'm trying to change everyone's perspective to start caring. So I was like, wow, like it's so important, and like Black lives like make up most of Baltimore.
It does, and it's very important, and people need to know. Just because we say Black Lives Matter doesn't mean we're saying we don't like white people,
Right. Yeah, no, I get it.
But Black lives is what, we're targeted. People of color are targeted, and that's what Black Lives Matter is for, is to put emphasis on that. And we see now after George Floyd, I think, people being at home, they was able to see what we've been going through for centuries. With police brutality. So Black Lives Matter is very important. It doesn't mean we don't like white people. We don't want to work with white people. Yeah. It means that because people, they take it personal, and white people have taken it personal. It's like, and they say all lives matter. It's like, we're not saying that you don't matter. Right. We're saying that y'all need to look at what's happening to us, and do something about it. And be our allies, work with us to make change.
For the world, hottest of the hottest girls say, oh.
Obviously, like, I'm never gonna truly understand.
Right. I mean, it's just how, like, I'll never know how it feels to be a white woman, So, I mean, it's just, that's what makes us different, but we can be the same in working together to solve this issue, to come up with some solutions, to get rid of these awful cops and, police misconduct. So have you talked to your nephew about this? How old is he?
He's 3, so he doesn't really get it yet.
Right. Yeah, he's very young.
But I am worried about him going to school because, like I said, I'm from the Eastern Shore, so it's predominantly white people.
Right.
While you're hurting, just whistle while you're working. Rain, go away.
They have mixed kids,
right,
or mixed nephews, and it's like, but the world, we see them as, our babies, we don't,
right,
but the world see like your nephew as a Black man,
right,
and that's how they will treat him, so you have to look out for him and fight for causes like this.
And like, I really feel like God puts people in our lives, like, my little brother had a kid at like 17, so, or 17 turning 18, and I feel like it did happen for a reason, and I believe everything happens for a reason. Like, everyone goes through seasons of life for a reason, and I'm grateful that I have a mixed nephew. Like, he's adorable.
Right, yeah. And this, it doesn't make, I wish that, to me, it's just so stupid that color will make people not like you.
No,
Cloud hanging over me.
You can be such a beautiful person, and then people just see your race, and it's like they hate you. And to me, it's just one of the dumbest things. Race and hating someone.
A catastrophe.
So much. I feel the kids that haven't gotten stuff for Christmas because their parents been laid off, can't find work. So I did my best to like adopt some families over Christmas, and
that's so kind.
But it's like you take so much on, you just want people to be in a better spot. So,
But she knows she can fly away.
I've been applying to jobs like since before I moved to Baltimore, because obviously I'm basically doing everything pro bono right
now. Because people have to make a living. We're all in a tough spot right now. And I think we've been this way for a while, and this is even worse. But, you know, people been having to choose between getting gas and feeding their families, you know?
No,
And
I
it's
understand.
even worse because you have to go to work. My sister, I won't say where she works because I know she wouldn't want me to, but she works somewhere. She's an essential employee. She has to go to work.
Right.
Because if she doesn't, she can't feed my nieces. But when she goes to work, she's endangering herself every day, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like we're all being put in this spot where, you know, I understand, you know, your father, because, you know, you have to make your money, but you also want to stay safe. But it's just like, which one
Which
do you choose? You know, what do you do? And we've been in this position for a while, but it's super bad now because of COVID.
Different day, do they get a kick out of pushing me?
Yeah.
Because, you know, people right now aren't in their right minds either, you know?
Right. That's
And they're doing crazy. Yeah, they're doing crazy stuff. Like, and I know I'm not all here just because of everything that's happened, but people doing some really crazy stuff, and you can't trust it, you know. So I definitely understand that.
No, definitely. And that's another part of New Baltimore. Like, I've struggled with anxiety
Never let 'em see
and depression like my whole life. I had a very traumatizing childhood between like issues at home and then issues at school with bullying, and that was like my platform as a beauty queen.
I can relate. Baltimore Slide?
Yeah, it's called Baltimore Fly. It's Fearlessly Loving Yourself. It's these two women who started this organization for girls on the western side of Baltimore.
Okay.
I believe. Is that like bad or?
Well, like West Side?
Yeah.
Well, I think all sides can be a little rough, but West Side can be, yeah, it can be a little rough. Yeah.
Okay. So they were talking about like how they used to work in child abuse situations and then develop this, and how all these girls are like traumatized. Obviously, like it's more prominent in Black communities for like sexual abuse and such, and that breaks my heart because right now I'm thinking like there's a little boy and a little girl like being raped like in the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we have we definitely have some crime issues in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And, just like, you know, one reason why I voted, I mean, not to make, I don't want to make anything political, but one reason why I voted for Brandon Scott is I believe in his initiative of seeing it through a health lens, you know, that it's a bit of a sickness, a health issue that we have in the city, and we need to treat it in a holistic way, which means it's not just police misconduct, it's also helping families. Personally, I believe we have a family issue in
Right.
Baltimore. It's a lot of broken families.
Right.
It's a lot of people like myself. I was working 3 jobs. I wasn't able to really be there for my daughter like that, you know, but this is what parents go through. They're trying to keep a roof over their family head. They might not be there so much, and the kids, sometimes they're roaming the streets, you know.
Yeah.
So it's schools, you know. I don't think we have bad teachers, but we need to update the schools. The schools are a mess.
They're falling apart.
They're falling apart. Like I had to find a school for my daughter. I didn't want to send her to any school in my district, to be honest, because one reason is I'm kind of a germaphobe in a way. I mean, I can deal with my own germs, but not other people's germs.
Right.
And the bathrooms were disgusting. And I said, how can I send my daughter to a school where I wouldn't even use the bathrooms? You can't drink out the water fountain. So they don't have heat in the winter. They have heat in I went to Baltimore City Public Schools. We had heat in the summer. And then in the winter, we didn't have anything. We had to wear our coats on us in class.
Oh my goodness.
So how can we treat our children like this and expect them to get out into the world feeling great about themselves? It makes, them feel like we don't love them, we don't care for them, because how in the environment we have them learning in, so I'm just saying there's different factors, that contribute to the crime issues. I think it has to be handled in a holistic way.
No, I understand. Thank you for that perspective. I'm trying not to cry.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's hard, but we also have we are very strong in Baltimore. We have great, it's, you know, it's crime everywhere, you know.
Right.
But just focusing on the city, there are great things happening in the city too. You know, there's great leadership in the city too. We have kids doing great things in the city.
When I open my eyes, hope I see you shine.
And so that kind of stuff should be, you know, it's hard, I guess, to focus on that when the crime kind of overshadows it. But we still have great things, you know, happening too. But do we have a crime issue? Yeah, we do.
Right.
In a corner of a smile, one conversation, a simple.
The new mayor understands the struggles that people are going through. You know, he's from Baltimore City Public Schools. He understands what people are going through. So I have to keep hope. We have to keep hope and do the work and keep hope that things can change. And it can be rough, and we do cry, but you know, you pull it together and you keep going.
We notice when we look up sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a philosophy or quote or Bible quote that you live by or that you say every day, read?
Do I have? This is so funny being on this end.
I know, right?
Because usually it's me asking the questions. Do I have? You know what? I'm going to say this. Growing up, your story, what you just said, got to me because I grew up being teased a lot too.
Yeah.
And so I think it's amazing that you turned it around, you know, and you use it as your platform to reach people, you know. And growing up, I was teased too in Baltimore City schools, not just by students, but by teachers too. And my mom, it got to the point where I wanted to quit school, and my mom didn't know what to do because she was working multiple jobs. She didn't know what to do.
Right.
So what she said to me at that moment stuck with me throughout the rest of my life, which is, Tiffany, it doesn't matter how nice you are. Some people just not going to like you. So that is that stays with me in my life because I do consider myself to be a good person. I consider myself to be a kind person. I'm not one that people should mess with, but, you know, stay on my good side and we're okay.
Yeah.
I do, but I've learned that it doesn't matter how good of a person is, how good of your intentions are. There are some people who just not going to like you, and you can't let it keep you from achieving things. You can't let it keep you from being happy.
Right.
And from doing the right thing. So that's something I think sticks with me in my words to live by. It's just that everyone's just not going to like you. So why even try to please everyone? It's impossible. You just have to live your best life and be a good person.